Welcome back to Stardew Valley. I'm your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, y'all, and comment below all the stuff that we're doing wrong and maybe some things that we could do differently, I suppose. But we have a busy episode in this one. So, couple things here. You see in the news that starting tomorrow there's going to be an unusual amount of stuff washing up on shore down by the beach. So we'll want to do some foraging down there for some quick and easy cash. That's tomorrow. Now today is the luau, which it starts, I believe, at 10, but it's over at 2, and that's the mark that we need to be concerned with, because we need to be to the beach by 2 o'clock. And we will want to take the super cucumber that we caught yesterday to donate it to the community potluck soup thing. And that'll get us a good response from the governor, who is in town and is apparently a food critic. So before we get to the beach for the luau, obviously we want to water the crops, because when the luau's over, you get back and it's 10 o'clock at night, which doesn't leave you with a ton of time to do, other chores and whatnot. So we want to get there and not have anything left to do for the day. So we got to water now, and then we will want to kill a little bit of time, hypothetically, to, when I say kill time, we're going to do something productive with that time, and then try and get there, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 o'clock. So I'm thinking we could do a little bit of foraging, perhaps. Now, you can't forage on the beach because you can't get to the beach before, I think, 10. And then if you go in after that, you're stuck at the luau. So, anyway, we'll go down into the, we might go over towards the bus stop. I forgot to look at the forecast for tomorrow. Anywho, pretty sure it was sunny again. So, I'm trying to think of what else we could do today. We might go over towards the hidden forest and chop some wood, and get the hardwood. You see, the luau actually begins at 9, not 10. Not that it matters, because we won't be there for a while. But if we have time, and I remember to bring my fishing rod, we might also try and catch the wood skip, which is only available from the hidden forest, the little pond in the hidden forest. So that's pretty much all on the list for today, because there's not a whole lot else that we'll have time for. So just checking out our tree empire here to see if we have any stuff that we can collect. We do have a couple more trees that we can put tappers in. But honestly, if I have any copper ore available right now, I need to be using it to save it up for my watering can upgrade. And I might consider an upgrade to my hoe in the relatively near future, because I wouldn't mind having that done before fall. There's just a ton that I, constantly have on a to-do list that it is a lot to balance. So you kind of have to decide what your priorities are and just go with it. So my priority is finishing the community center. That is first and foremost. Everything else that I do is pretty much designed to try and get me to that goal. So, alright, so we got some fiddlehead ferns, and there's another one down here, so that's actually pretty good little foraging run, but we're out of energy, and I need a little bit more to cut these couple of these stumps down here. And by the time we're done here, God, get away from me, you stupid slime. Anyway, you know, it's 11:30 now, so by the time we get out of here, it's pushing noon, and we really need to start probably making our way toward the luau. But I forgot the super cucumber, so we need to go back to the farm to get it. Duh. So there's that, and now it's noon, so we kind of got to hustle. And here I am, I'm like, oh, let's just let's swing over here and say hello to Marnie. Well, she's closed because I can't remember if well, she's not closed because of what day it is. She's closed because it's the luau. And I'm like, oh, well, let's go say hello to Leah. And now it's 12:20, and I still have to get back to the farm and to the beach, y'all. So we're cutting it a little closer than I would have liked at this stage. Because, like I said, we got to get our super cucumber and then get to the beach. Now, thankfully, we have the mine carts that will drastically cut down on the amount of time it takes to get to the beach. So, I mean, it's only 12:50 now. Now, it just turned 1 o'clock. And we're 10 minutes away from the mine carts, which is 10 minutes away from the beach once we get off the mine carts. So, we made it. But we cut it a little closer than I would have liked. Anyway, so the luau is one of the more useless festivals, honestly. Even though you know, are like it's suggested that you donate something, you could totally skip this festival and it would make very little difference as far as I know. I don't think there's any reward for getting the better response from the governor. And he's like, oh, maybe I should bring my wife down here for a vacation sometime. Okay, dude. So, we're just kind of running around chit-chatting with all of the villagers now. But, like I said, I don't think there is any reward for, wait, here we go. Actually, no, here we go. You do get reward. So, if you get the best response, which is, oh my, that's the best soup I've ever tasted. If you get that, you earn 120 friendship points with the villagers. So that's good. So you do get friendship points based on the response. So I did not know that, but I looked it up here, as you can tell. So, who have we not hit yet? Yeah, but there's, I mean, other than that, there's nothing else going on with this entire festival. I wish there was something that you could, like, buy here, but apparently Pierre couldn't be bothered to set up a little temporary pop-up store and sell random items. Even if they were just decorations, something would have added a little bit of incentive to come down to this event. So, on the wiki, there are lists of items that you can use for every response. There are 6 different responses that you can get from the governor after he tastes the soup. And so, what is this secret response? What? Oh my gosh. So, if you, holy crap, if you complete the task that the mayor gave us to find his lucky purple shorts, or actually, if you find his lucky purple shorts and put them into the soup, you get a different response. And I'm not gonna do any spoilers on that. So anyway, that is, I did not know that, but I might try that at some point just for fun. So, but even like if you put stuff in there that's terrible and get the worst response, you actually lose friendship points. So it's a range from 100 points lost to, what did I say, 120 that you can win. So I guess there is a little bit of incentive to show up and at least put something good in there. But anyway, here we go. Here comes the governor. He's going to taste the soup. And he's excited. Oh my, that's the best soup I've ever tasted. So there you go. We have got ourselves 120 friendship points for all of the villagers. And the super cucumber gold quality was the only item that I had that would have gotten us that. So we got kind of lucky, y'all. So back to the farmstead. I don't even know that I talked about our plans for tomorrow, but those plans include going to the, I think I actually did mention it. It's going to be Friday, so we'll go to the traveling cart. The beach forageables are going to be something that we'll want to go and get our hands on, because that'll be a pretty quick payday. We might go fishing, because we still need to catch the Dorado in the Forest River, and we also might do mining. It's probably an either or, though. I don't think I'll go fishing and mining. It might depend on the weather forecast. So if I wake up tomorrow and they are calling for rain on Saturday, we're going to the mines, because we'll need to get copper so that we can upgrade our watering can. What did I forget to do here? Maybe check the bat cave. And since I ran over here, yep, with its own little special trip at the end of the day, of course it's going to be completely empty, which is why I then decide, you know what, if I came out here, I'm going to do something productive. So I cut some hay. And these were getting dangerously close to our crops there, so that's probably a good idea. But anyway, so we know what's on the agenda for tomorrow, and a lot of it, like I said, may depend on the forecast when we wake up. So let's get it. How do we do money-wise for the day? Yeah, $304. That's like a rounding error when you get into the late game stuff. I mean, eventually we'll be making so much money we can't spend it all. I mean, we could, but we would just be wasting it on stuff that's useless. Alright, and there you go. There is a storm approaching. Thunder and lightning are going to be in the area. So we got our lightning rods out to collect us some. It's going to harness the energy of the lightning and create battery packs. And now we only have one copper bar. So we need to get to the mines, y'all. But first, we have to water the crops. Because what you want to do when you're going to upgrade your watering can is, on a day where there's rain in the forecast for the next day, you water the crops, then you drop off your watering can, because it's going to water the next day, and then you can pick up, or it's going to rain the next day, and then you can pick up the can. What am I doing? I got to water the crops, y'all. You saw there, I am saving all of my hops, because early on in my keg empire, we will probably mostly be brewing pale ale. So we'll save all the hops that we can. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so here I am. What? Oh, I'm going to the traveling cart. I got to get that done, because it's Friday, and I do not want to miss the red cabbage if it's there. Then we got to go back, water the crops, get to the mines. We need to hurry up and get enough ore to smelt 4 more copper bars, and then get to Clint's before 4 p.m. So we have a busy agenda today. Nothing at the cart other than the rare seed. That reminds me, I kind of want to look at how many of those I've actually got in the chest back at the farm, because I'm getting close to where I need to decide whether it's worth it for me to continue buying them, or if I think I'm not going to get to a nice round number like 16 before this fall. Probably won't hurt to have some extras, because what I might do once I get the greenhouse, yeah, see I have 7 of them up there. That gives me 8. And good lord, I'm wasting time. Yeah, empty out your stash here. Okay. So, yeah, that's everything we should need there. Now, what the heck was I talking about? Oh, the rare seeds. So, 8's a good number to have simply because it's 1 plot around a quality sprinkler. Okay. Now, if I get more than that, it's okay, because what I could do would be, once I get the greenhouse, the objective with the greenhouse is going to be to have an ancient seed empire. So it takes a while to get that going, because you start with 1, you have to plant it, it takes I think a whole month to grow, and then it continues to grow after maturity. But once you get the first seed, or once you get the first harvest, you put it in a seed maker and hope to get more seeds. Well, you do get more seeds. It's either 1, 2, or 3. And then you use those seeds to plant additional units in your greenhouse. But while I'm kind of working on getting that space full of ancient seeds, I can grow any additional rare seeds that I get my hands on during that time. So I don't know why I'm bothering to fight that dude and go get that. I'm just here for copper ore. So anyway, not a big deal. It's only 10 after 9. We've got time, so we should be okie dokie. But now I'm like, I think at that point it struck me like, wait, I'm not here to get down levels. I'm here to get copper, y'all. So then I start this game of just go in, look for copper. If it's not there, go to a different level and look for copper. And, you know, continue doing that particular process. So that you're just, you know, you're not spending a bunch of time running around cracking rocks or whatever. You're, you know, maximizing the collection process. So, and on the levels that end in 0, there's an elevator to take you to another level. But the levels that end in 5, you have to take the ladder back out and then get to the elevator. Not that it's a huge deal, but something to keep in mind. Because we will do a few more of these runs later, and not always for copper. We'll probably have to do them for copper, gold, and iron. So it's not the most fun, but it is productive. And speaking of which, you know, I've been talking about kind of trying to balance out my days and have some days where we do fishing, some where we do mining. Other things that we can be using eventually to balance out the days, especially after we get most of our fishing done, is collecting wood and foraging or whatever. Because, you know, I really don't know why I'm spending so much time. I think I have enough to... Oh, I'm probably trying to get a little bit more to be able to smelt a few extra bars. Because we still need a bunch for tappers or whatever. So, anyway, what was I saying about... Oh, additional stuff. We'll do some foraging. We need to be doing some wood collecting and hardwood, because once we start getting into the farmhouse upgrades, you need wood for those, for at least the first couple. I think you need like 400 wood for the first house upgrade. And then the second house upgrade, I think, is 150 hardwood. So you want to have a bunch of each of those laying around for once you start doing that stuff. And you see with the obsidian edge, like how much more damage these things can do versus if you remember how hard it was for me to kill those stupid walking Skeletor looking dudes earlier, it's like night and day. So it's glorious. Why am I? Oh, yeah, grab stuff here, dude. We got a bunch of copper bars now. That's 10. We'll need 5 for the upgrade. That'll leave us 5 more to take home. And that'll give us a couple of tappers at least. So that's good. Fairly productive day so far. And then we'll need to get down to Clint's and the museum and the beach to do some foraging. But we got a bunch of stuff in our backpack. So foraging, although I will be dropping some stuff off, foraging might be limited by space in my backpack, but we'll see. You know, honestly, this episode so far has been pretty easy to do commentary on, but now that we got to do a bunch of watering, this is going to buy me some time to dive into that point in the episode where I don't have a ton to talk about, and you know what that means. That means it is time for the fun fact of the day. And today's fun fact is not sponsored, unfortunately. That's okay. Today's fun fact is that baseball umpires used to sit in rocking chairs while calling games. And so this goes back to the very early days of baseball, where like early on in baseball, the confrontation between the pitcher and the catcher like didn't exist the way it does now. Like when baseball first started, the pitcher's job was to just they threw underhand, almost like slow pitch, and their job was to get the batter to hit the ball. And so like it just kept the game moving. Like the idea was to keep the game moving. It was a gentleman's game. They weren't trying to strike him out or whatever. So, you know, in those days, the umpire was more like a decoration. He was just there. They would call him the arbiter, but he was there more to settle disputes between teams, and that's why they called him an arbiter. He wasn't calling people out or safe. He was there in case the players couldn't decide because a play was so close. And a lot of times it would be like the offense, you know, the base runner was like, "Oh, I think I was out," and the defense was like, "Ah, man, I don't know. I think you beat it." And so like they were deciding, you know, they were arguing because you know what I'm trying to say. Like they're basically arguing against their team's cause because it was a gentleman's thing and it was an agreement that you were just like supposed to be honest. Eventually that started to change, but umpires would still sit in rocking chairs kind of like back away from the catcher and call balls and strikes from a distance in a rocking chair. I just find that kind of interesting. So there you go. So we cut it a little bit close. It's 3:20, and Clint's like, "Hey, have you seen the mine carts are working?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Clint, you're welcome. I did all the contributions to the community center, and then the Junimos did the rest. So, I mean, you either need to thank them or thank me, but don't sit here and be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, but don't take it for granted because it might not last long." So, anyway, we got some stuff out of our geodes, drop off our watering can, and now it should be ready on Sunday the 14th. So tomorrow it's going to rain, and then the next day we'll pick it up and have to go back to the farm and water. But finally we get a day of rain in the forecast where we can execute that strategy that we've been talking about since like the second episode. And we got some rewards here too, so that's good. I'm trying to think about what our plans are for the next episode, actually. you know, we'll probably have a day of fishing and a day of mining, to be honest. We will need... I think we still need to do... Well, we don't have a ton of fishing left to do. Did I catch the bream and donate it to the community center yet? I can't remember. That's one. A wood skip is another. And then honestly, the rest are not critical, with the exception of the red snapper, actually. So it's supposed to rain tomorrow. We might take advantage of that and try and go catch the red snapper, because we won't have to water. It's available from 6 to 7 at the ocean. So that is actually something we might try and accomplish tomorrow, because I think that completes a bundle in the community center too. So other than that, you know, so if we're going to go fishing tomorrow, that means so the Sunday day would be traveling cart and some mining, and we need to pick up our watering cans, so that'll be a busy day. But not, you know, not too much to handle. What are we doing here? Oh, we're going to sell our beached foraged goods to old Willie. And you see here, like, since even though I already bought the iridium rod, there are more fishing rods still for sale. So hypothetically, if you wanted to, you could have extra fishing rods and just put them around town wherever you may use them. So if you really love to fish, but you don't like to carry around your fishing rod for whatever reason, you could do that. But, you know, it's 5 o'clock now. I probably have time to maybe go to the hidden forest and chop some wood. I can't remember what I did with the rest of my time in this day. So, we shall see. Any bets as to what I do with that extra time? Because it's not really enough time to go mining. At least not go mining and get a whole lot accomplished. But it's probably enough time to just head down to the hidden forest, chop the stumps, and then come back and wrap up my day. So that's what I'll bet I do. Yeah, so what shall we discuss? I'm really actually kind of really struggling over what major purchases to do next, because once the blueberries should be ready. They might even be ready tomorrow, y'all. I can't remember how many days they take, but they gotta be close. And when those come in, then it really is going to be time for me to decide what I want to do for my next big upgrade. Because, like, shed is on the list. It's not a critical need, but it's awesome to have. I could do the house upgrade. A stable would be really nice, and I think I have all the resources for it, except for the cash, so that might be a serious contender. But I don't know. I mean, the large backpack is also a contender. So, like I said, we need to kind of decide what we want to do here. I'm cutting some hay, but honestly, as you can see, so when you are cutting hay like that, it's showing you how much you collect as you go. And you got to keep an eye on it, because once your silo is full, it'll just stop collecting any. So that's when you want to stop cutting hay. You see there, I've got 240 out of 240. So that's another investment that we'll need to make at some point, is to get more silos, which means we're going to need a bunch more copper, because they take 5 copper each. And ultimately, I would like to have 5 silos. Not that I need that many yet. Because 240, what is 240 divided by 28? Wait for it. 8. So I can, if it's 8 and some change. So I could have up to 8 animals in my coops and barns and have enough hay to get through the winter with that 240 that's in the silo. So anyway, um, yeah. So again, lots of potential purchases on the horizon that we need to be considering. But one last thing that we're actually going to do here with this extra little bit of time that we have is, you saw we kind of swung up to the mines to make sure we collect everything that we can from up there, and now we're going to swing by the community center because we've got a minor explosion that we can drop off here with the cherries, the um, oak resin, and maple syrup, and a sunflower, and pine tar, and a red mushroom. So that's a pretty good list there. 5 or 6 items. And again, we continue to chip into the or chip away at the community center. Here's another bundle that we're going to complete. The exotic foraging bundle is, wait for it, complete. And what do we get for that? We get Autumn's Bounty, a meal. We actually get 5 of them, and that's a pretty good one. It's a lot of energy and some other perks or whatever, so that's a good one to have. But we still, again, you see kind of what's left on the lists there, and it's, now the one room that I haven't talked about at all is the vault. Because all you have to do to complete the vault is just put a bunch of money in there. There's like 4 or 5, but I guess we call them bundles. But it's really just like the first one you donate $2,500 and you get a reward. Then you donate 5,000, and then I think 10,000 and 25,000, and you're done. So what is that? 25, 35, 40, 42, 50, 42,500 to complete that room is, I think, the total. And we might be able to do that in summer. Probably not. It's going to be fall, but by that time we're going to have, like I said, we'll have pretty good cash flow coming in and be able to afford to just drop money towards the community center. I can't remember what you get for completing the vault, though. Not that it's a big deal. We can figure that out later, but we'll check out the bulletin board there. But first we'll say hello to Demetrius and Robin, since they're on their way home, I assume, from the bar. Friday night, lots of people like to go to the bar. We got Alex's birthday tomorrow, so we'll keep that in mind. And what is this? Sebastian wants a tuna, and he's going to give us $300 for that. So what I'm doing at the moment in the video is looking up where the heck Sebastian is right now, because I know I have a tuna back at the farm. It's only 9:20, so he might be standing out in front of their house or in his bedroom. I'm trying to figure out if I can even give it to him today. And like an idiot, again, I've done this before. I close the thing instead of accepting the task and then wait for it. Right there, I realize, oh, didn't accept it. So I go back, and now that's important because there you see walking up from the bar is Sebastian. So he's on his way home. We're on our way back to the farm, and it becomes a foot race. Like, who's going to get where they're going first? Because once he gets into his house, I don't think we can get in there anymore because it's too late at night, and they lock their doors. So this is where the mine carts are going to come into play, because I got to come back here. I get the tuna. I do have a bream in there, so I got to remember that. I don't know if I still need to donate one to the community center, but I have one if I need it, so I don't need to catch one at least. So now we hit the mine carts, go up to the mines, and then backtrack to Sebastian's house. And as you'll see here, we get here just in time, because there's Robin and Demetrius. I knew they were in front of Sebastian, so we beat him by a fair amount, which might not have been the case if it weren't for the mine carts. But anyway, there's 300 bucks, and he's happy. Could have given that to him tomorrow, but get it done today if you can, y'all. That's the bottom line. So now it's getting late, and this episode got way longer than I kind of expected it. And there's Maru out there staring at the stars. One of these playthroughs, I might consider courting Maru. I've always done Haley just because, well, I've kind of explained the reasons why in the past, but one, because she's a straight up biatch at the beginning, and I like to change her attitude, and I just have a natural thing for blondes, so. But Maru seems pretty likable, at least, and I wonder if she doesn't like. So some of the spouses actually have little things that they will do for you. It's nothing crazy, but I wonder if she has anything that's relatively useful, like crafting some sort of invention that makes my life easier. I doubt it, but it would be awesome. And it might just be nice to mix it up for once. So, alright. So, put the grape in there. Now we're going to craft a summer seed bundle. Drop that into the bin and head to bed. So y'all, that is going to do it for this episode. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. And we will see you all next time.